at 1 p.m. I've launched this pop-up show, the Plant-Based Business Hour, because I want to focus on the solutions going forward for us as a planet, as the entire community of the world. We can see these meat-borne pandemics, coronavirus now, but by no means is it the first meat-borne pandemic, to infringe on our economy, on our jobs, on our livelihood, on our mental health, on our physical health, on our healthcare system. I think we can all agree we want solutions, and we don't want to be here again. So I've launched the Plant-Based Business Hour. I'll be talking with entrepreneurs, startups, investors, bankers, people focused on moving us forward, learning from our mistakes, focusing on the future and how we're not going to be back here again. Because ultimately, plant-based food is the solution. With this in mind, I have the very wonderful Danny O'Malley. He's joining the conversation right now, I believe. There he is. Danny, thanks for being with me.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate you having me on the show again.
Yes, exactly right. So Danny O'Malley, who is the founder of Before the Butcher, and he's the current president, although he likes to call himself the Presiplant, of the Uncut family of burgers. You were on my show, the Awesome Vegan Show, about 5 weeks ago. Of course, the world has changed in the last 5 weeks.
And it's changed quite dramatically, and we're adjusting along with the rest of the world.
That's right. So I want to get right into that. I'm not going to go into Danny's history and his inspiration. He's a plant-based guy like all of us. So if you really want to hear that background, please go to the Awesome Vegans podcast. We talked about that about 5 weeks ago on my radio show, the Elysabeth Alfano radio show on WCGO Radio and the Smart Talk Radio Network. But today I really want to dive into, Danny, exactly how are you guys coping and surviving? I'm talking from the business standpoint, coping and surviving at the Uncut family of burgers.
Well, I think we're, keeping our heads above what everybody's trying to do, and looking at all options into continuing to supply customers, operators, retailers with our products as they need. And we're in that position where we're a necessity along with food manufacturers. And so we're allowed to continue as needed, and we will continue to do so and provide products when needed and requested. And we're doing all we can to expedite and get our products to the retailers when they ask for it.
So you actually still are very much in business. You haven't sent employees home. They're still employed and you're still functioning. I don't want to say business as usual, but you still have the doors open. Is that right?
It's definitely business as usual. And we do have product in stock. So awaiting POs or orders from either service operators or distributors and retailers. We are limiting our production and producing our products as needed, but we are open to produce, and we do have the ability of getting our products to the retailers, to the grocery stores, and to providers as needed.
So I'm going to ask you two things. One, can you scoot up a little closer to the camera so we can get more Danny O'Malley? Because that would really be great. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I said, great. Lovely.
There.
Up. Okay. You see, it's almost like we're together.
Yeah, it feels like it.
It feels like it. Let me ask you the second question. So that's you from a putting product out standpoint, but are you able to get all the supplies that you need to make the products?
Well, we happen to be in a fairly fortunate position at this point in time. We had stocked up, anticipating a big elevation in the need of our products. So we have a very good stock of the necessary ingredients to make our products at this point in time. Now, as time goes on, and depending on how long this lasts, that may change. But today we're in a very, very good position, perhaps in a better position than some of our competitors or other food manufacturers out there. But we're fortunate to have a lot of ingredients in our warehouse, and we are prepared to make product as needed.
And what prompted you to stock up like that? Was it an intuition, or you had just foreseen? because I know that your business is growing and you've been quite successful. And I'll add to that I've had the uncut chicken burger, and it's better than any chicken burger I've had. You have a regular burger, you have a morning sausage patty, you have a chicken burger. This is all obviously plant-based, and a turkey burger, and they're all excellent. But I'm going to say, the hamburger is very, it's a good hamburger. Like there are some good plant-based hamburgers out there. And the same with the breakfast sausage, really exceptional and tasty and spicy. But the chicken beat everyone away. I'll just say that. But did you stock up on supplies just because you know that your products are growing, or was it intuition?
Look, I wish I was that good. We actually saw and have projections for our products to grow exponentially very quickly. That's what we predicted, and that's what we were planning for. And also we are heading into what we call the grilling season, which is a time to ramp up. And we wanted to be able to scale up fast enough to handle what we thought was coming. Of course, everything has changed. And so we have the ingredients in-house ready to go, and we would love to be able to continue to produce these products, and we plan to.
And so tell me, you have recently, I think within the last year, been acquired by Jensen, which is a meat company. I think it's still family owned. Is that correct?
Well, we were actually not acquired by Jensen. We were acquired by the Jensen parent company investors that happen to own Jensen, and so we consider ourselves sister companies, and we work very well in conjunction with each other. We share synergies. We even share personnel. We have our corporate office down right next to theirs, and we are planning to build out a facility right next to theirs down in San Diego as well. So. It has been a tremendous godsend for us that we're in this position today. I really question and wonder what would have happened to us with all this going on if we were completely independent without the strength of our parent company and Jensen as a whole supporting our business.
And I'm curious, you were primarily with Before the Butcher, before you were acquired by the parent company of Jensen, you were primarily in food service. And I'm wondering if your food service experience, where you have to go in large quantities, et cetera, has been any sort of learning platform for you for this odd exercise that we're in right now.
Well, my food service was a great background for me and helped us launch Before the Butcher and get us to where we are today and secure our position in plant-based analogs or plant-based meats today, and allowed us to ramp up for retail where we are and where we plan to continue growing in a very rapid fashion. I don't know that anything prepares you for what we're going through today. Food service has changed dramatically overnight. Retail continues for those of us that have the essential needs for retail operations and grocery stores. But on the food service end, it has dropped dramatically, and we're all in a very challenging position. Those that are in the food service industry today, I feel for them, and anybody that supplies food service primarily.
Yes, of course. Food service, for all practical purposes, practically shut down in full.
Yeah, with the exception of delivery or pickup, which is fairly limited. I mean there will be exceptions. I'm sure the fast pizza delivery services like Domino's and Pizza Hut, and those are probably doing fairly well. But normal restaurants, full service restaurants, I have either closed or very limited service based on pickup or delivery.
Or even corporate food service. So most employees have been sent home. So cafeteria type situations are all but gone at this point.
Yes. Right.
Yes. And so if you could talk to me, if you are allowed to, a little bit about the synergy between having this parent company come in and what they've been able to give you at this point in time. I think there's a hesitation for people to be involved with anything even close to meat and dairy, but I'm guessing that this parent company has been allowed to give you bigger budgets, deeper, longer, wider distribution networks, et cetera. Maybe you can talk to that a little bit.
Well, we have some distinct advantages. One is they are not only just a manufacturer, but they are our logistics company. So they handle all of our shipping. They handle all of our sampling. We have synergies with their employees as well. So we share employees that help us coordinate between both companies to make sure that we are being as efficient as we could be and can be. They are our production company in regards to any patties that we make. We still have a separate production facility where we make other products as well for food service that is separate from Jensen. But their expertise, we just didn't have the expertise they have, nor would we have been able to facilitate building out or the expense of the equipment that was necessary to make our products. So having all that in one place, in addition to the financial capabilities of supporting a growing company like ours, because we put a lot of products, as I told you earlier, we've got ingredients on the shelves right now that will help us produce products for weeks, if not months to come, without having to worry so much about the ingredients being supplied to us to continue. That inventory on the shelf is money on the shelf, and we didn't have the resources at that time to continue to do that. Plus, whatever we have finished product is in the freezer. That's also inventory and money on the shelf as well. So they support us in a big way. From production to logistics to financial capabilities and just expertise of a company that's been around, a production company that's been around for, I believe, 50 plus years now. So we're very fortunate to have this partnership with them.
It's just not linear as people would expect to go from trying out burgers, let's say maybe even in a home kitchen or in a very small commercial kitchen, and supplying, let's say, one local restaurant or one local Whole Foods, just one, not the chain, but just one local Whole Foods, and going from that kind of production scale all the way to a national scale, which is where you're going. It's just not a linear situation. You really need more help as you scale up. And it's not that obvious finding contract manufacturers who can come into place and start producing large orders for you. And of course, the capital investment you would need to create your own production facility and even getting that up and running, it does take a village. So I can see where this would be wonderful for you. You talked a little bit about having product, of course, on the shelves and what kind of money that represents. What are you hearing from grocery stores? Do you get any feedback from them about panicking or even of different buying habits? Are more people making the connection that they should be eating plant-based? Are you seeing your sales go up, remain flat, or go down?
Well, for us, it's a pretty level position for us right now. And what I'm seeing from the retailers, from the grocery stores today, is their biggest concern is just filling the shelves. So they're reaching out to the manufacturers that help them fill those shelves and asking for them to produce the product and get the product to them as quickly as possible. That is a tremendous challenge, as you can imagine, because industry has been shutting down invariably in different ways very quickly, and making the adjustments to make that happen has been challenging. Jensen, our sister company, makes animal-based proteins. They make hamburgers, and they have been nearly overwhelmed from orders coming from the retail industry and everybody trying to refill their shelves with animal-based proteins. And we hope that they continue to open up and realize that we can do the same thing, though I'm not sure where the priorities are or aren't at this point in time. I think the biggest priority is just being able to provide some type of protein regardless of what it is, and that's what the retailers are doing today.
I understand the scramble, and I understand the reliance on doing what you've done in the past. People tend to do what they know. It's easiest. It's avoiding to reinvent the wheel. But the past hasn't worked for us. It's what's making us lose our jobs, lose our health, our sanity in these frightening times. So I'm wondering if you think that there would be any willingness to switch out some of the meat orders for some of the plant-based orders in a pinch. You know, if they can't, I mean, the protein's right there. So if they can't get the meat, are they moving to plant-based?
Well, honestly, I haven't seen it. I've been very, I think I've provided a high level of communication with our retailers, and I've been forthright with the fact that our products are available, that we have them in stock, that we can expedite the orders, especially locally for us, which would be Southern California, which is about 75% of our current current reach in retail is in Southern California today. And we can get it out to those retailers within days. And we're hanging tight and waiting for those orders to come in. And we have not seen it yet. And I know the shelves, because I walk into the grocery stores every day, are empty. You walk into the meat department and they're whatever they can out there. And from what I see, even my local Albertsons, they're not even opening up the butcher area. It's completely empty, and they're throwing whatever they can on the shelves for people to grab, and they're disappearing almost as fast as they put it out there. And it's been that way for a little while. So we have product available, and we're willing and able to ship it out. And I've been forthright with the fact that it doesn't need to go in the fresh meat department. You can put it in the freezer, put it wherever you want, but make it accessible for the consumer who would have interest in it.
And are they just too busy to hear it, or they're hearing it because they want food sources and they're not taking it seriously? Are you up against uneducation, or are you just up against the fact that everyone is doing overtime and there's only so much information they can take in?
Yeah, Elizabeth, I think it's just a mad scramble. I think that they're just so overwhelmed by everything that's happening, and they're doing everything they can to get product in as quickly as possible. And I think that because they're overwhelmed, that they may not be seeing the entire picture. And it's not for me to tell them how to do their business. You know, I'm here, and I'm going to be supportive every way that I can, every way that we can, and we'll continue to make ourselves available.
Okay, well then this is a good time to talk about some of the pros of your product. So tell me, I think there's no soy, give me the protein content, lay it on me. How great are the Uncut Burgers?
Well, our protein is pretty much right in line with most of our competitors. They range for the 4-ounce burgers between 19 and 21 grams of protein. Which puts us in a really great spot. Our products actually are soy. They are non-GMO soy, and we're proud of using soy because we think it's the best plant-based protein available, and has been for thousands of years. And it's just a complete protein, and it's great for you. So we're proud of that. We have a lower sodium content. Our 4-ounce burger has 260 milligrams of sodium. We're very proud of that. We have a shorter ingredient list than most of our competitors, and we have variety that nobody else has out there today as well. And we're proud of all of those things. We did that on purpose because we needed to separate ourselves from all the competition, and we think we have some really great products out there.
So let me go over those again, because it's true, you are separated from the competition in that you have a family of burgers. So you have the 4 SKUs, you have turkey, chicken, morning sausage, and then the straight old hamburger, we'll say. But I've had them uncut. Look for them. They're very good. I've been very successful in finding them in Ralph's, but I've noticed that they're not everywhere. For example, I haven't found them in Whole Foods. Are you across the country yet?
So hang tight with Whole Foods. We've been approved to move into all the Whole Foods in Southern California. I believe it's 59 locations. Some of this is being delayed, obviously, with what's happening. We are in all Mother's Markets, so we should be. I don't know what's on the shelf today. Albertsons, Ralph's, Pavilions, Vons, all in Southern California. We're in close to 700 locations in Southern California. So almost anywhere in Southern California, you can find our products. We're in Texas in Central Markets.
Right.
We're in Northern Indiana in Strachan Hill. We're in Chicago in Mariano's. We're in Wisconsin in Metro Markets, Pick and Save, and Cops. So we're moving. The challenge we have today is nobody's looking at putting new products on the shelves. They're just trying to get whatever they can on the shelves that they already have. So we have more coming, including the expansion in Whole Foods and also Bristol Farms.
Great, great. Well, that was going to be my next question to you. And of course, it stands to reason that they're not looking for new products at the moment. They're looking for those products that they know. So if anyone is watching, or if anyone knows grocery store managers, the buyers, et cetera, you're talking about foods that have protein, that are readily available, that are one-to-one replacements for meat. Often people will not only feel healthier, but they may not even notice the difference in the taste. I'm telling you, the chicken burger was the best I have ever had, but their morning sausage and regular hamburger and turkey burger are also very good from the excellent, really, from the Uncut family of burgers. But if you are knowing anyone who is associated with grocery store owners, often these owners are individual families still. Mariano's, before it was sold, Nina Mariano, I know. I mean, they are individual people. They were until it was sold. So, often you might have a connection with these grocery store owners or family owners. So please let them know. They can reach right out to Danny O'Malley. How would anybody reach you if they wanted to reach you, Danny?
Well, you can actually go straight through our website, but
Okay.
And that's probably the best way. You can. We have a link on our website that will get you straight to me usually, because I answer pretty much every single email that comes through. Today, I still do.
That's awesome. Okay, so this is a call to all grocery store owners and anyone who has contact with them. Plant-based options are out there. They're ready to be supplied. People need food. Let's not be stupid. I hate to use the word stupid, but let's not be sort of silly about this, people.
There you go.
Get people good quality food that they need, that will keep them healthy, so that we're not in this situation again. Ultimately, plant-based foods are the solution if you want to avoid, like I think we all do at this point, meat-borne pandemics. And of course, the coronavirus is not the first and or only meat-borne pandemic. Ebola, SARS, mad cow's disease, et cetera. The list is quite long. And we continue to experience these things now. Asian flu, for example, and African swine flu, both are surging in China as we speak. So China is not only dealing with corona, but they also have two other smaller pandemics on their hands. So time to switch over to plant-based meats. That's the solution. Now, you did say that you're not working on new products at the moment, because you too are scrambling, of course. But I'm wondering what you have in the hopper, and if you can share that.
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked, because we do have a full line of plant-based grounds that we are on the edge of releasing into retail. So we're ready to go. So we have our uncut plant-based ground, which would be like a beef ground. We also have our uncut Italian sausage ground, which is incredible. We have our breakfast ground, and we also have a taco ground. They are amazing products. And we hope to see it in the stores in the next 2 to 3 months, depending on what happens. Of course, we're already sending samples out to our retailers and getting them excited about what's coming next. But that will be the first family of plant-based grounds that we're gonna send out to the market. We're excited about that.
That's wonderful. So I just made plant-based tacos yesterday and plant-based lasagna, which I still have in the refrigerator, 2 days ago. So I could have definitely used your products. I sort of make my own. If you want to go to my recipe page, ElysabethAlfano.com, you can see my lasagna recipe, my taco recipe. But I could have shortcut everything and gone right to your products, which of course, busy, right now I'm home like all of us, so I've got a little time to cook. But usually, the average mother of 3 working probably 2 jobs doesn't have time for that. She should just go straight to the Uncut family of grounds that is coming out. Or of course, you can check out my website, ElysabethAlfano.com. Quick question about competition before I let you go on this very busy day for you. You do mention your competition, and it seems that the burger area, and maybe even the grounds area, is getting congested. What would you say to that? The plant-based burger area, what would you say to that?
Well, I agree. I think we're close to a saturation point on the burger. not the variety of burgers, but just the burgers. So I think the consumer is more than open and would be excited about a variety, which we do provide today already in retail, and will be expanding very quickly. And not so much, I think, on the ground. There are more coming into the marketplace, but again, it is just the ground. It's a beef-like ground, and I think variety is important to the consumer, and we're going to provide that. So I think that we will see a saturation on the burger this year, and I'm already getting feedback from retailers that they're in a position where they're having to make choices, whereas even 6 months ago, it wasn't choices. It was, hey, what do you got? We'd love to put it on our shelves.
Yes, fantastic. I love to hear that there is pent-up demand for these items in some ways. And I know that when we are in a time of crisis, we don't want to reinvent the wheel, but now more than ever, I think is a wonderful opportunity to get people to try plant-based items so that we don't repeat the situation that we have now, which is Corona. So I will stay tuned for those grounds. And I would agree with you on competition. I would say that we're getting maybe a little bit of a saturation point, but ultimately meat is an enormous market. I want to say something like 700 to $1 trillion. Maybe I have that even more, right?
Yeah, $1 trillion is pretty good. I think I'm not saying we're at a saturation point for burgers per se, but perhaps just for the one regular burger. I think we're looking for an opportunity to try other things.
Yes, right. Agreed. So I can't plug it enough. The uncut chicken burger. Just hit me up, and I want to hear after you've tried it what you think of it, because best I've ever had. Okay, it is a very busy day for you. So I just have a couple quick questions. These are meant to be one-word answers. So some of them will be a little bit longer, but just kind of right off the top of your head, don't overthink it. What are your predictions for the future?
My predictions is that plant-based is going to continue to grow exponentially very quickly in a big way, and plant-based analogs and plant-based meat will be the leader in plant-based as a whole. And continue to innovate in a very, very big way. We're going to see a lot of cool, exciting things come out this year and many years to come.
Yes, I actually anticipate that coronavirus is going to be a catapult for our market, the plant-based food market. And from here, it's a domino very fast. And again, to you grocery store owners out there, you can be a part of history. So please look out for your plant-based items and start filling those shelves so that people can have food, and don't hesitate because we need to make that switch. And the faster we make it, the healthier we are. Okay, what do you wish you knew 10 years ago that you know now?
That is a good question. I wish I knew 10 years ago even half of what I know now about plant-based.
Yes.
And a lot of what I've learned has been in the past 6 years since I started working specifically in plant-based meats. But I hope in 10 years from today that what I know now is half of what I knew at this point in time then. So it's amazing how fast we're growing and changing.
Yes, I totally agree. Okay, you're having a bad day. Maybe this week would apply. What's the one phrase that you tell yourself to pick yourself back up?
Well, the one phrase I always say is tomorrow is another day. So whatever day you had today, no matter how difficult it was or could be or would be, you got a new day tomorrow. Wake up in the morning with a positive attitude and get ready to go out there and get it done.
Are you showing your Scarlett O'Hara Southern roots? Okay, you have a busy day. You walk through the door, 10 minutes. It's the meal you can always make. You always love it. It's always great. What is it?
Oh, that's really easy. Because I keep fresh vegetables in my house at all time. Just taking fresh vegetables, throwing it in a pan, cooking them up, and doing a stir fry. Done. Easy.
Done. I love that. Your go-to meal. You can do it
always. I did it yesterday. I loved it. It was so fantastic. I just chopped up all the fresh veggies I had, threw it in a pan, some great extra virgin olive oil in there, and it was just, and some nice seasonings, of course, and it was fantastic. Loved it.
Onwards. I love it. I have something very similar. I always have stuff that I'm one of those people where I don't mind mixing my food. I know this isn't for everybody. So I always have rice that's made somewhere, brown rice or quinoa. And then I just take like all the leftovers, which is always veggies. You know, I've got some beans over here. I've got, you know, half an avocado left over here. I've got some coleslaw left over here, of course, made with vegan mayonnaise. I've just got some stuff and I throw it all in a big garbage bowl and I
love it. Love it.
Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite snack?
Peanut butter pretzels.
Woo! Yummy.
Yeah. Love it. And it's got protein, which is good.
It's got protein. And your very last question, what are we always going to find in your fridge?
Well, you'll always find veggies. Always. And of course, you're gonna find uncut proteins too.
Yay! Well, you're gonna find uncut chicken in my fridge or freezer.
And almond milk too. Almond milk. I always have almond milk because I'm making smoothies all the time.
Boy, you're healthy. You're a healthy guy. Good for you. Well, I want to thank you for the time that you've spent with me today and, you know, carving time out of a very busy schedule. Of course, my thanks and my gratitude and my kudos to you for forging a path for plant-based products and for hitting up those grocery stores, not telling them how to do their job, but just being there for them so that they can lean on you to fill those shelves as they should be. I certainly want that message to get out. Obviously, everyone, plant-based is the future. It's the solution, so we don't find ourselves in this position again. Danny, again, I want to thank you. My name is Elysabeth Alfano. This has been the Plant-Based Business Hour. Please follow me and Danny, for that matter, on Facebook and LinkedIn. This interview, if you didn't catch it all, is going to remain on Jane Unchained. It's also going to be on my website, ElysabethAlfano.com. And of course, my radio show is every Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Time on WCGO, the Smart Talk Radio Network, and Alexa. Just say, hey, Alexa, play me WCGO. I'll be there this Sunday at 3, and I will be back on Monday as well with the Plant-Based Business Hour. Thank you, everybody. Have a healthy and safe weekend.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Danny. Thanks.